Dr.G. Raja Singh Thangadurai sir to address the gathering. Guys, please give a big round of applause everyone for Dr.G. Raja Singh Thangadurai sir.
Good afternoon to all of you. See, after lunch, first hour is a tough time. Hope all of you cope up with us. At the outset, I thank Naresh Indian for organizing such a big event and for the noble cause of motivating the young rural students to achieve great things in their life. So, at the outset, I thank everybody, organizers, and above all, the students. So, good afternoon to all of you. And thank you for the good introduction, whatever you have given. Actually, I feel a little bit closer to Dr. Kalam in the sense his native place is 100 kilometers away from my native place. And he is my college senior at MIT Madras. So we studied at the same college. And when I just joined DRDL, he was my first director. So in that way, we have a lot of things. And we owe our life, not only we, the entire country, owes whatever the missile development we have done in this country because of that one single person, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So, what I thought was, because you are multiple youngsters and very new to the missile technology and all, first thing is the reason like people like Nagendrababu, we standing before you is, we all had a very humble beginning, and through sustained hard work, you can reach the level. So we are standing as a testimony to all of you, so that if you can focus, concentrate, do a sustained effort, nobody can beat you. That is the idea of the entire program. So meanwhile, as they introduced, I am working for the BrahMos program. So you might have heard about the BrahMos program. So a little bit I will tell you about the BrahMos program. And I hope few of you have visited our facilities also. Thanks to Naresh, we have visited few college students. And we invite the other people also. You can also come. You will have the view of the state-of-the-art, world-class missile integration facility, which is just at Hyderabad only, near the Shamshabad airport. So I invite you all, and so that you will have a feel of it and you will have an urge to achieve in your life. So briefly, you can go to the next slide, please. Next slide again. So briefly, I will give an introduction about the missiles. What is it about missiles? And what we have done in our country, and especially mainly the project where I am working. So continuously what all we are working. So those things I will just give a brief of the thing, and mainly about the missile development here. And BrahMos is a super, as morning Dr. Satheesh Reddy sir was telling about the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile. India is not even Russia, India is the only country having supersonic cruise missile in all the three services, that is Army, Navy and Air Force. Air launched BrahMos we only have, even Russians don't have. We have integrated BrahMos missile in the Su-30 aircraft. So India is the only country having a supersonic cruise missile in all the three services. So next. So basically, when we talk about what is a missile, everybody gives a lot of complicated definitions. What is a missile? So any object thrown with the intention of creating damage to the enemy is a missile. It can be a rotten egg, orange, stone, whatever you throw, any object with the intention of creating damage to the enemy is a missile. Next. So basically earlier when we were there, see, suppose when two people fight, whoever is more powerful, that fellow used to win, who is having more muscle power. So then if you go and fight, then winning. So people want to be away from the person. That is a stand-off distance we say. So you use a weapon, either stick, stone, you stay away and attack the enemy. That is how the evolvement of the missiles or the weapons started. So it started with the sticks. And when we were doing something, suppose if you say throw a stone at somebody, whatever is, there can be a wind opposing you, he can bend. So how do you accurately hit? You give more intelligence to the weapon. That is how your guided missiles have come. Now in our missile complex, we have developed missiles which can be launched deep underwater, 50 meters or below from the ocean depth. From there to, like what you are saying about, we are going to have Somnath sir, space also. So this is the place where you are able to launch a missile against an enemy place. Next. So if you see, as I told you, the warfare, earlier bow and arrow, animals you use, horse, elephant and all, chariots, then how it has gone up, like rifles, then ships, tanks, submarines. Now more like an electronic warfare it has come. Further cyber security, information, these kind of things. Now it is not only independently firing, it's a network centric. So many people together and firing it. This is in a coalition. Suppose some sitting at some corner of the universe, somewhere else you can do the operation. That is how things are growing. Next. So basically, as I told you, in the missile, the purpose of the missile is from your launch point, that is from your place, you have to send some destructive weapon to the enemy's place. You have to destroy the enemy. Towards that, what you do, you have to deliver some warhead, something which creates damage to them. So from your launch point to impact point. So how do you send it? You need a propulsion system for that. Then when you are using that propulsion system and with this weapon, you want it to go in a specified path or direction. That we call it as the trajectory. So you want it to follow a specific trajectory. So when the missile is going in the path, fine. But sometimes what happens is it deviates from the specified path or the trajectory. Then you try to guide it, bring it to the original intended path. So this we say as the control and guidance. So this is the entire gamuts of the missile program. Anything is from launch point to impact point, you have to carry a warhead and the missile has to follow a specific path. You control, guide and control to it. So any missile follow the same logic, whether it whatever be the platform and whatever be the target. Next. So we classify missiles in so many ways. Truly speaking, depending on the trajectory it follows, it's a cruise missile or ballistic missile or the launch mode or launch platform, what we are doing. So either surface to surface, surface to air or air to surface, like that. And depending on the range also we say, and depending on what is the power plant or the engine what you use. Either it is solid propulsion, liquid propulsion or ramjets. And depending on the warhead, whether it is a conventional warhead or a nuclear warhead, that kind of thing. And depending on the guidance system also we can classify. Next. See, basically India, as morning sir was saying, we were the major importer of the weapons and all. Now we have graduated into exporting level. So earlier when nothing was there, when we are importing, we have to make a missile, specify the missile, all those things have been developed, all the infrastructure. So initial stage our forefathers, they invested in bringing out what is the infrastructure required. The core competence was built up. Then later when we were growing, the developed countries didn't want us to grow. So they stopped various technologies not given to us. So in that MTCR regime, when everything was denied to you, then you started developing what is required for missile development. Like that it has been done. Then now we have developed so much expertise that now we are other parties, developed countries, we are having a joint venture with them. They are all partners to us. This is how it is growing up. Even now, there are some gray areas like the chips manufacture, some sensors, devices. So over a period, with all you people entering into those areas, definitely India will become a number one and making 100% the missile, everything in our country. Next. So if you see, as I told you, we have classes of missile systems, like tactical and strategic weapons. So tactical or battlefield support kind of thing, and strategic is where you have nuclear warheads, which is devastating kind of thing. So all these things we have developed. Now many systems we have developed, and we can develop whatever the state-of-the-art weapons required for our country and for export also. Next. So basically one difference, before coming to BrahMos, what I thought was there is a difference between ballistic missile and cruise missile. So ballistic missile is like any stone you throw, it follows a parabolic path. Like that initially you have a boosting or propulsion, then later because of its inertia and aerodynamics, then it travels and it is not powered throughout. Whereas in a cruise missile, it is powered throughout the flight. Like many of you might have traveled in aircraft, where the aircraft takes off, climbs, then we say cruises, then descends and lands. That cruise means what? You have a constant altitude, constant attitude, direction. That is how it is there. So any missile which is having that flat portion, that is the cruise portion in the trajectory, it is called a cruise missile. It is mainly advantages in the sense when you come down, when you fly very low, that BrahMos missile flies at 10 to 15 meters height. That is a trip-top height, where enemy radars will find it very difficult to pick it up at that speed. That is how you can destroy the target easily. Next. So coming to BrahMos missile, next. Before going to the joint venture, I thought I'll just show you one. Everybody knows about the hare and tortoise story, where the first one shows that everybody knows that when the race started, the rabbit slept, hare slept, then tortoise won. Next. The second race, then the hare became wise. Then when the second race was conducted, it started and it won the race. So then the third one, what has happened? Again, tortoise calls for a race, and they have to cross a river. So there, again, tortoise won the race. Next one. So then when they decided, you have some strength, I have some strength. Why don't we collaborate, work together for the success? So when the land it was there, the hare was carrying the tortoise, and when the river came, the tortoise was carrying the hare. So they were able to achieve hardest things what individually they cannot do. This is how the joint venture, the concept between India and Russia has come. Next. So none other than Dr. Kalam was the person who started this Indo-Russian joint venture, BrahMos. Next. So all of you know he became from the humble beginning president, the supreme commander of the forces, and he was awarded Bharat Ratna and all. Next. So right from a simple fisheries place, and that is Rameshwaram, he could go up to the Rashtrapati Bhavan with the sheer hard work and dedication. Next. So he had his a lot of ups and downs. He was in because of SLV3, major thing he came into the limelight. Next. Because of paucity of time, I will not go much into detail. And Prithvi was the first one through which we learned a lot about the missile technology. Next. And yeah, next. I'll just one small video of BrahMos. Then later, when any questions is there, we can just meet. Next, you can just slowly go through the slides. Next. Next. So basically, the expertise from DRDO India, and next. So through IGDMP program, we learnt a lot. And this is one gentleman called Chelomi. He is from Russia. Like Kalam, he is a Kalam of that NPOM place. So he was very innovative. What is there is, he has observed the bird sitting in a nest. When he has seen that, he got the idea of how a missile also can be done like that. That is, it is safe in the nest. So I will make my missile very safe. That we call it as a canister. So what he was saying was the bird is folding the wings. So I'll fold the wings of the missile, fins of the missile, and put it in a container. That is how the foldable wings have come. And that helped the missile to grow in anything. You can carry in a canister, container. It doesn't know whether it is a civil item or a military item. And a lot of facilities, checking it or firing it, transportation, launch, everything it was easier. Next. So we came together to make the best product out of it. Next. And I'll not much go into the details. See, it is basically the new innovation what Dr. Kalam brought to us. Brahmos is a private company fully owned by government. That is how the percentage of 50.5 has come. If it is 51%, it becomes a public sector. So that is how the thing they have put, so that though it is government, you can take decisions as a private company and move further. Next. I will not go into the details of it. Next. I will just see what is that we have done. These are all the constituents of the BrahMos missile. When you come to our place, we'll explain you in detail. Next. If arrow is not working, you can use the other one. Next slide. Yeah. Another thing is BrahMos is an universal missile. Go back previously. See, it can be launched from any platform and from different targets, and missile is same. Except in air version, we have minor modification. Even in that, the cruise phase is remains the same. Next. And continuous improvement. It started with the anti-ship supersonic cruise missile, and land attack we have done, steep dive. If suppose somebody is hiding behind a hill, that also we can do. We will come vertically and hit it. And side attack also, azimuth attack capability. All those things we have incorporated. Next. And we are growing. We are going for the long range, and we are planning to make it small, so that instead of one missile, more missiles can be carried in Su-30 aircraft, and smaller aircrafts like LC also can carry BrahMos. Next. And this, our Indian team has done it and made it a success story, air version thing. Next. Next. And it is helping a lot for the complete thing. The Indian industries, the ecosystem, with a lot of orders, we are able to do a lot to the country. Next. Next. And this is not required. Next. Next. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. BrahMos video was there, no? That is not there. BrahMos video you can play and come to the last slide. One video was there. Actually, BrahMos 1998, an intergovernment agreement was signed between India and Russia. So from that was the starting point. And that happened when Dr. Kalam visited NPM Russia. In NPM, that company has three verticals, like satellites, cruise missiles, and launch vehicles. So in the cruise, Indians, they have done a lot in the rocketry, especially through ISRO, solid and liquid. Ramjet was one thing which we were not having it. So that to be developed was Dr. Kalam's thing. So because of that, this venture has come. So now we have done a lot of activities in making the products for the BrahMos. So last year we celebrated the 25-year silver jubilee of BrahMos, and more than 100 flight trials we have done. Almost 1,000 missiles we have given to the armed forces, which are safeguarding all of you. So it is a grand success. So that success story, some 2-minute video is there. I'll just show that and I'll wind it up. And mainly one more thing, one message what I thought was Dr. Kalam has brought lot of the systems available in ISRO, like design reviews, how do you do various reviews. One among them is called a failure analysis board. So the best brains in that will be put for the failure analysis. So failures, when it is there. Don't get cowed down by the failures. That is the message to all of you. Unless you make an attempt, you cannot succeed. So when you make your maiden attempts and all, there is no guarantee that you will succeed in the first attempt. So you have to make a repeated attempt, avoid the mistakes. That is the only way to success.
Initiatives, factors and efforts that are to be credited for the resilience of our defense forces. The country's alliance with different nations takes the bigger chunk.
Wearing pants and stripes on the side.
An intergovernmental agreement between the Russian Federation and the Republic of India, signed on February 12, 1998, gave birth to the world's fastest cruise missile system, Bramhom. Today, Bramhom's precision strike missiles have become the weapon of choice for the Indian Armed Forces, enabling them to fire from large standoff places in land, sea and air, in day or night, across all weather.
Bramhom's team, Russian and Indian, have successfully broken the fifth nation syndrome. I congratulate all the Bramhom teams on their part.
Named after the two rivers, Brahmaputra of India and Moskva of Russia, Bramhom is a testimony of a strong 25-year-long defense alliance between the two countries. Bramhom Aerospace, the joint venture between DRDO India and NPOM Russia, has been continuously upgrading the powerful, highly versatile Bramhom to increase its effectiveness.
We started as a small company with $250 million of investment from both the countries in a 50-50 type of a partnership. And today we sit with an order book, total order book of approximately $6 billion. Well, it's a complex missile system, and we have taken quite a few years to fine-tune the whole system. Before we got our first order from the Indian Navy in 2004, we had done about 6 flight trials. These were just development trials. And as we went on, targeting the Indian Army and the Indian Air Force, till today we have done 40 development trials. The users themselves have done 66 user trials. So, till date, 106 missiles of Bramhom have flown.
The biggest part of this achievement is, it is not only our armed forces, this is emerging as a major Indian brand in the military-industrial complex internationally. It gives us a great honor and privilege to be part of becoming the primary strike weapon out at sea and for our armed forces.
With its ability to perform several roles, hit multiple targets and operate on multiple platforms, the missile maker has undeniably become a significant force multiplier in the modern-day battlefields. Leveraging the technological prowess of both the nations, India and Russia, Bramhom Aerospace created a unique product with the shortest realization time in the world. And this year, this joint venture is celebrating its silver jubilee.
We are finishing 25 years. We've actually finished in February, but we've taken some time to start our celebrations. That's because we have been still doing a lot of work over the last few days. Been doing a lot of improvements and a few trials, a few installation test trials, some of them acceptance test trials.
Following a series of astounding achievements and successes, Bramhom expanded its motto from Make in India to Make for the World. In line with that vision, its first breakthrough came last year when it became the first full-scale weapon system to be exported to a responsible, friendly nation. BrahMos Missile Industrial Consortium involves over 200 domestic companies from both the public and private sector, thus generating immense employment opportunities. It's an excellent illustration of how India can make significant headway in developing cost-effective, high-technology systems from concept to market in the shortest amount of time.
We were already talking about BrahMos NG, hypersonic BrahMos. As far as BrahMos NG is concerned, this is required within our armed forces and a big export potential also.
जब हमारा ब्रह्मोस दुनिया में जाता है, कौन हिंदुस्तानी होगा जिसका मन आसमान को न छूता हो?
You can bring any number of students to BrahMos lab. We are here to showcase our labs. We want to encourage youngsters into defense and space. Thank you, Raja Singh, Thangadurai sir. Thank you, sir. Nandri.